What's up, guys? Amster Knows Books back today with another video, and today we are back with Mistborn Book 2, The Well of Ascension. After a book one that I absolutely loved and adored with the review already up, I was so ready to dive back in, but I finished Howling Dark, and now I moved on to Mistborn Book 2. And guys, I really enjoyed this book. I will say I do think it is worse than book one, but I think it's more so for one glaring flaw, while everything else I actually think in some way, shape, or form was actually better. But that flaw was very ginormous for me in some ways. So today we are still doing reading vlogs and all that now from here on forward for the most part. But we are introducing a new system. So I am a basketball junkie. Like, it's what I love. I love watching the NBA. I'm getting into college basketball more. It's just what I love to watch. And I'm introducing a award system. So in the spoiler section, we're going to get stuff like MVP, most improved player, all of this sort of stuff. And that will be in the spoiler section. But not spoiler-free thoughts, I guess including spoilers for Mistborn. This book does a lot of dealing with the idea of, okay, you overthrew the evil leader, but now what? Because for a lot of series, understandably so, that's where the series would end. It's like, okay, they overthrew the tyrant, the king, whoever, the evil lord. And then maybe there'll be a sequel series where there's a time skip. But instead, Sanderson really goes, well, I think that immediate after can bring some very interesting ideas. And I think for the most part, it actually does. Because this book does a really good idea of challenging with the idea of what is a good leader. Do the people necessarily always know what they need in a leader or what a leader should do? Where do we cut that off? Where does our value of self, right, and our self-identity, how far do you compromise that to become a better leader? I think the themes and ideas in this book are actually like really excellent. And the Sanderlanche, for the most part, was fucking awesome. So, without further ado, I am now going to play for you my reading vlogs. I apologize in advance. I don't know how to pronounce for shit. All right? It'll probably be... listen. I know books. I know hoops. Amster does not know pronunciations. It just is what it is. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the reading vlogs. So, for those of you spoiler free, read the damn book. All right? There is something in here that's going to be really annoying. There is like this attempt at, I don't even want to call it a love triangle. I don't even know what to call it. It's not good. But everything else in this book, I genuinely think is a step up from the book before. And I think that this book does a really interesting dive into the idea of what happens after. I ended up giving this book about a 4.5. I know I'm sorry you talked about this glaring flaw. Again, to me though, it would be disingenuous for me to go, oh, this is losing 2 stars or 1.75 stars, because everything else was so damn good and I was so damn invested. It'd be disingenuous. So I give this a 4.5 stars out of 5. But now we're going to get into spoilers. So if you guys have not read The Well of Ascension, go ahead, read it, and then come back. Reading vlogs are going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have some fun. Okay, guys. So The Well of Ascension, reading vlog number 1. I'm about 170-ish pages in. Oh, man. So, it's funny, with Sanderson books, for some reason, I would say minus The Way of Kings, the first 20, 30 pages, I always get nervous. I'm always like, oh, am I going to like this book? And then we get into the throw of things. And guys, this shit is absolutely cooking. Cooking! Okay, so we have the possible traitor. Well, I guess not a possible traitor. We know we have a traitor in our midst. And there's a couple names that I don't think it's Breeze. The only reason I don't think it's Breeze is it's too early. Like he arrived running from, his group too quick
to then just be killed. I don't think so. Dox, I wouldn't be surprised. Like maybe if Dox started, being more friendly or whatever towards the nobles, maybe. But guys, I don't know why. I think it's Spook. But I don't know, maybe it's not. Because you see, now that I'm 170 pages in, I actually like doing this vlog right now a lot better. So we've met Zane. And for those of you that have not read Stormlight, I won't get into it, but he reminds me a lot of a certain character from there, but just not as well done, which is fine. Obviously, this came first, so I guess that character from Stormlight is technically just a better version, whatever. But I just hope there's no love triangle. Please, sweet baby Jesus. No love triangle. None. Don't need it. Interesting, though, how Zane seems to be influenced by this god or whatever, and that was pretty interesting. So some of this stuff I'm already kind of cool with, and seeing like how Straff is trying to play the line as well. And I think the most interesting thing to me is in this book so far has been Elend, and like what it means to be a ruler, what it means to take over from a regime that had basically the world by his grip, to now basically have to try your best to fill the shoes in a different way, I think is remarkable. And I think Sanderson's doing a really interesting job of like certain people that ended up idolizing, the Lord Ruler and like what he did, because there was, even though he was terrible, right? And he treated people terrible and all this stuff, the protection and the safety and all this stuff from the mist was a guarantee, right? So like, those odds, I think, are really, really cool to play with. Vin, I think, is pretty okay so far, and I love Vin from the first book, so it hurts that I'm not more invested in her right now, but it feels like a lot of this kind of this, like, I do not like Orsier, the Chandra with her. And there's hints that he will probably turn around and I end up loving him, but I'm just right now like, Marsh is so interesting. And Sage is the goat. I mean, that's just my boy. My boy casually walked into this Colossus camp, met the ruler, ended up going, yo, homie, I'm leaving. You want me to send a message? And the guy's like, fuck, I get. That's my dog, bro. But I'm betting Spook's the traitor. I have a feeling things are about to really, really start to ramp. Because I ain't gonna lie, my boy Elend is so fucked. This dude's got, well, first of all, shout out to Twindle. Is that how you say her name? I don't know. But right now, my boy Elend is getting fucked. We've got three armies now, technically. One of them with the Colossus people, with Jastes or Jasts. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not doing audio for this book or immersion reading. So I don't know how to pronounce that. But man, is this shit cooking, fellas. I think so far, I'm enjoying it. But it reminds me of Mistborn 1, right? Like, even as I started to get into things with that, I guess it's a little different because we were getting into the magic system, so that all felt new. But like in this one, it's more about the politics and the intrigue. So that's starting to ramp up, and I'm starting to get invested in that. And I'm curious how Elend changes as a man, and whether or not Sanderson goes the route of, as much as Twindle's teaching him, what does he learn himself as a ruler, as a man? So that's reading vlog number 1. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay, guys, I have been absolutely fucking locked in to the Well of Ascension. I read like 150 pages today. I was just locked. And there's one major issue I have with the book, and I think it'll probably hold me back from giving it a full 5 stars. This Elend and Vin like relationship dynamic problem, which is like half of it being like outside forces going, Vin, don't you see Elend is using you? Elend, do you see that you can't be a ruler and like Vin? What? Brother, sit down. Like, okay. And then like Zane trying to do this whole like emotional manipulation, gaslighting thing. And like Elend being like, but he's a Mistborn too, and I haven't had that. And it's like, I don't know. I think for me, it's the believability of these tensions.
that's bothering me more than anything. Like, I just don't see the dilemma at hand, you know? Like, I just don't. Why am I supposed to believe that Elend and Vin are really at odds? But, like, because then, when the time comes for most of the time for them to interact, it's like they're doing the normal thing. Now, Vin now is starting to be like, oh, like, is he using me as a weapon? Which I think actually validates my point about their relationship in the first book, was that he looked at Vin for Vin and not, you know, as a Mistborn, as a weapon, as some, like, he just valued her as a person. I still think he does. My goat Sazed coming back to the group, I thought was so good. The vibes are so back. But I don't know if Renault or whatever is really the traitor. Like, it just seems so, like, I don't know. I'm still not past the idea it could be Doxson, man. Because we have no real way to prove it. And, like, basically Vin went vibes check, and it's like, I don't know. I also want to say, this book, hold on, I have to grab it because I want to make this point. This is Elend's book. I mean that wholeheartedly. This is Elend's book. This is not Vin's novel. And, you know, sort of thinking about it now, like, in some ways, the last book was really Kelsier's book to some extent. And it makes me think that this Hero of Ages book is going to be, like, Vin's book. Because this book feels a lot like talking about Elend and, like, his virtues as a leader. And, like, what things does he do well and what things does he not do well. Which, by the way, I do enjoy the... How would I explain? I do enjoy the realism in terms of attacking the naivety of Elend. Like, it's not so much like, why are you being a good person, Elend? It's more so like, you can't have everyone's opinion all the time. At some points, you do have to be a man, and or not be a man, but have to be a ruler and, like, put your foot down and be like, no, like, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and therefore now we can do that. But I don't think that would have been possible without Twindle and all of that dynamic, and her shit's sad. Her backstory. Also, in the last little vlog, I did talk about Orseer. I do like him more now. At first I was kind of like, this is kind of, I don't know. It felt like a lot of the tensions that were going on with Vin felt very, like, I don't know how to say it, like, manipulated / like, fabricate. Like, I didn't feel a lot of stakes or tension in a lot of these situations or problems that she's having right now. Zane's dying. I already know that for damn sure. He's dead. He ain't making out this book. I think, first of all, Phylon. Now, you guys might be wondering, for those of you who have already read this, Emster, who's Phylon? This bitch goes, I appoint Set to be king. Brother, what? What do you mean you appoint Set? Shut up, bro. Like, I will say, though, Set does got some cojones. I will not deny that. And Elend's dad is an absolute loser. And I cannot wait for him to get murked, because that's happening. The Colossus people or whatever, or the Kolos, again, pronunciation, I know books. I can talk about sports. I can't spell and I can't pronounce. I apologize. Oh my gosh. When Sazed went to that camp, I thought he was cooked. I was like, there's no fucking way this dude Sazed went to the wrong stopping point on the way up and he's cooked. Oh my fuck. It's excellent, guys. What's interesting is this book is called The Well of Ascension. And we have not mentioned the Well of Ascension in this book at all. I think we mentioned the Well of Ascension more in the first book. So, I'm curious where the Sanderlanche or whatever gets us to that point. I also think, hold on. Ultimately, guys, I'm actually really, really enjoying the book. Again, I think the Vin and Alen like relationship dilemma is not very appealing to me. I think it's very fabricated and forced, which is hurting me a little bit because every time that we get to that sort of conversation or plot line, it just feels like the same points are being brought up, except like the characters aren't acting within those expectations. So then I'm like, so why are you feeling this way? I don't know. Some of the stuff to me feels a little odd, but this was reading volume number 2. I'm loving this book. It does have me back in. I'm hooked. And also, fuck Phylon. That dude can kick rocks. This book's so fucking good. I still think the Lind and Vin relationship drama is dumb as fuck. And then, you see, I think I mentioned this in my first vlog, or second vlog, whatever, third vlog. I mentioned the fear that there could be a love triangle with Zane. Oh, brother. Why? Like, literally the only reason, I just want to make this abundantly clear. The only reason, Vin, you think there's even any chance that you two could be into each other is because you're both mistborns. Fucking for real, bro. Like, Alend in this book, I'm gonna be honest, aside from maybe like one or two moments, I genuinely don't understand. I just don't understand where Ven can even feel like Alen really did her wrong in this book. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, Sanderson's, like, approach to try and have Vin, like, feel, like, tricked by Zane. But I have no reason to feel that way. Like, Zane's just basically saying, he's using you. What? Okay, bro. Like, you don't have emotion. I think it's interesting, too. Sazed in, Twindle's relationship is fucking remarkable. Like, and that's what makes me so upset about the Alen and Vin one, is I do think Sanderson actually does write pretty damn good romances in his stories. I just don't understand where it has to have been an editor thing or something. Because there's just no way. So much of this book has been about, oh my god, does he really like me for me? Brother, yes. Oh my god, though. Alind, yo. First of all, my boy got hoed. Because his daddy rigged the election. Fuck this guy. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I was binging. I got another like 130 pages in. I'm almost at the end now. I got like 130 pages left, I think. Might be a little bit more, but there's a very good chance I knock this out tomorrow. The Alen stuff's just been remarkable. Like, whether it be with Set trying to take the city, and then Vin and Zane just going through and fucking mass murdering, like, however much of his crew in that tower. Even though I just don't know why, like, again, I think Zane's a very boring character, for the most part. The God stuff with Zane seems interesting, but that's because of the God stuff, not Zane. And then seeing Alend, like, stick by his morals and seeing him really become a ruler in his own right, but not in the way that, like, Twindle necessarily wants or, you know, says historically knows. That, I think, has been just excellent. 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 And I don't know, man. I guess the card guy could be the traitor. It could be Dox, though. I don't know. Guys, this book is absolutely fucking cooking. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to go pass out. Y'all enjoy the next reading vlog. Peace. Oh my god, this fucking book is cooking. Okay, so I am pretty close to done. I've got about like 100-ish pages left. I'm on part 5. Um, thank fuck Zane is dead. Oh my god, that shit was so fucking dumb. I know for a fact I could not give this book a 5-star unless this Sanderlanche is like Stormlight, Oathbringer, Words of Radiance levels of like, whoa. But I'm glad that Vin didn't just like completely crumble and be like, oh, Zane. Because I still don't get what she saw in Zane is, aside from the fact that they're both Mistborns. There's literally nothing. And this height, like this artificial, like, we don't belong with each other. Man, shut up. Again, weakest part of this book. Guys. Overseer being the traitor. It's funny because, like, I remember I think I DM'd my buddy Carson. Shout out to Carson. I'm sure he's watching this video. I DM'd him. I was like, what if it's Overseer? But I was like, that'd be a little but it was. And I was like, oh. Also, the god. The god, I'll say in quotes, that was plaguing Zane wants Vin alive for a reason. So I'm curious what that reason is. And then now, Sazed, I loved Sazed and what he did for that chunk of being like, we need to get Elend and Vin and maybe even Spook, which it's just a random inclusion. Shout out to Spook. I'm sure I'm saying that now, and someone in the comments will be like, wait till book 3, and that's what Spook does. But love that shit. I was like, this makes so much sense. And then Elend and Vin got married, which was so cute and random, but I was just like, Sanderson was released from the editor chokehold, and he was like, I can finally just write what I wanted to write this whole time. Okay, they got married. Let's proceed. We're moving north to the Well of Ascension. After 470 something pages, we're finally going to what was in the title of the damned book. Oh, man. We are cooking. We are so cooking. This Sanderlanche is going to hit like crack. All right, guys. I'll probably be back in a couple hours. So, until then, peace. Emergency. Yo, Elend is him. That boy saw Jace, and he said, my kingdom cannot forgive you. Oh, my God. That shit was awesome. Oh, Elend is him. MVP. My glorious king. Oh, my God. So fucking cool. I love that. Bro, what? Bro, fuck March. It's fuck March. I don't give a fuck what reveal you do. Yo. Why the yo. Oh my god. So this is another emergency one. I haven't even finished the damn book. I found another, like, not 17 pages. But guys, I just have to get this off. First of all, Marsh, what the fuck, bro? Oh my, bro. Rest in peace to fucking everybody, bro. Twindle, and then, bro, we lost Doxson, we lost Clubs, and then Vin fucking with the RKO out of nowhere to murder Straff was incredible, and then we got them all to serve us. I was like, we're chilling, we're back, and then fucking Marsh, and now she's just gonna go to the well. I don't really know how I feel about. I don't even know. I don't fucking know, guys. This is fucking crazy. Fuck. Oh my god, this book is fucking nuts. I'm actually kind of mind blown right now. I can't stop grinning. This is crazy. I'll be back. Oh, it's over. That was nutty. That was, bro. Okay. The glorious king is a mistborn, bitch. We're back. We're back. Okay. So I have some theories. The god that was in Zane, I think, took over Marsh because he doesn't seem to know what's going on. He's killing all these people, and mind you, too, it's like God said, kill, and like Zane had some control over himself, but maybe Marsh just did it because he had already been fucked up by the Lord Ruler and everything in becoming a Inquisitor or whatever. And then I like that Vane gave up the power and that released the true demon and everything. I also like the twist on whether or not, the Hero of Ages is a real thing and all that, which I think is really interesting, right? Because the first book, Sanderson basically did the whole, the basically Sauron one. But now he did basically, like, is the chosen one, like, necessarily a real concept? Or do we, as people with religion and everything, manipulate that concept? That I thought was awesome. So Marsh is alive. We got Ham, Breeze, the Goat, Sazed, My Glorious King, Elend, Big Vin, and guys, that might have redeemed that. I don't know, guys. I think too that the first dude, the Elendi or whatever, the guy that was prophesied to be the Hero of Ages, I think he's the spirit in the mist. I think at the end of the day, he actually could have been that guy if, Rashek and everything didn't turn on him. That, I think, is going to be the reveal. But I'm curious, too, about the earring, because, again, right as she went into the Well of Ascension, the earring burned, and it changed everything. So I was like, hold on. Because then Sanderson went like, oh, then she took all the other metals. So I was like, what if the earring is protection for Vin from the god? But I was like, I don't know, guys. This shit is cooking. Oh my god, you guys. It's so fucking good. I think this is the finale of the Well of Ascension reading vlogs. Let me know. Well, I don't even know how I'm going to say that. Thank you guys so much for watching this part. Enjoy the rest of the spoiler review. Peace.
All right, guys, and we're back. So, the award system for Emster Knows Books is going to be as follows. MVP. Obviously, I think anyone knows most valuable player. For me in this book, it is so easy. My glorious king, Elend. You are the MVP of the Well of Ascension. I think Sanderson did a remarkable job at really challenging Elend as a character. Because, again, I think what this book does, I talked about it in some of the reading vlogs, I love that Elend does have to make some compromises to self, whether it be through his image, his willingness to step on toes, right? Like, his changing from being a people pleaser to being more acceptable of, like, I have to make a decision sometimes, and you all may not agree with it, but I think it's the best decision, and I'm in charge, and therefore we are going in that direction. Again, I think it's done in a healthy way. It's not in a, like, oh, yeah, just F it anytime you want, man. Just throw it out there. But I think, like, throughout this book, I think Sanderson did a really good job of rewarding but punishing, Elend for being himself. And that happens in real life, right? Like, sometimes sticking to our code or our guts, it will hurt us. It does. But it will also reward us long term because we know that we did not compromise ourselves. Sometimes we have to. We're human. So I think, again, Sanderson did an excellent job with this, and I think seeing how all of these characters, whether it be Saz, you see, now I'm going to struggle with the pronunciation. You see, now I'm so self-aware about it. It's bad. Sazed, or yeah. And then I want to say Twindle so bad, just fuck with people so hard. I'm going to say Twindle. I don't care. Twindle or Twindell, or it's Tyndall. I don't know. Again, I can't pronounce, guys. That's not my job. I love their romance with each other, but I also love their views of Elend and how Tyndall. It's not Twindle because there's no W. Tyndwell. Sure. I love how she challenges him in different ways and also challenges Vin. Again, I think that stuff is so good. But Elend's the MVP. This is Elend's book. I'm just going to be 100% honest. I know Vin's on the cover. I know Vin is on the spine. All that. This is Elend's book. It just is. But speaking of Vin, Zane was fucking awful. I'm sorry. He was brooding. It was cringe. The love triangle was stupid. And to be honest, I know what you guys might think, so I'm sorry why this isn't bring it down more. I think the overall cast significantly improved from book 1. I think the plot in terms of the politicking and seeing the growth of these characters is as good or better than book 1. The Sanderlanche was awesome. So as much as that one thread bothered me, there is a lot of other stuff going on. I just don't understand why people get so hung up on it. Like, you still have everything with Elend going on. You're learning more about Breeze. You're seeing these interactions with these other groups. We're learning actively more lore with Sazed or Sazid. I don't fucking know. I think that ultimately there is so much more positive than negative in this book. I do think the romance is dumb, and him dying was fucking, thank God. Thank God. I was so afraid that like the God or the evil inside of him was going to leave and he was going to live. I was going to be like, no, please, Jesus, no. But thankfully, he's dead, and that's over. And she chose Elend, and they got married and all that. I was like, thank God. And I feel like this has to have been a publisher thing. There is no way. Because, again, I've read all Stormlight, and never has Sander, like, there is one hint of a thing in there, but never to this. That doesn't seem like his wheelhouse. It just doesn't seem like something he would do, let alone write. So I'm assuming the publisher or something went like, but what if we made it more compelling with a triangle? And again, this is early Sanderson, who doesn't have the power and influence he has now. So he had to do what he had to do. I do want to talk about Strafe dying. Incredible. My girl Vin fucking flying in. Dude. Elend and Vin each killing somebody in this book. Well, Vin kills a lot of people in this book. But like significant hurdles, I think was really good because it also came through at a point of character progression. Like Elend going, do I regret killing my former friend? Yes. But I would do it again because it is the right choice as a man, as a leader to do. And that I thought was awesome. Awesome. The only thing I don't like about the Sanderlanche, and I'm sure it'll be important later, I don't like Marsh just kind of from the top rope. Like, literally, I want us to remember something. So I think it's literally in the first 100 pages. Marsh shows up, finds, you know what? For the means, I'm going to stop recording real quick. I'm going to figure out how to pronounce these damn names. Give me 1 second. I guess it says Ed. I'm sorry, guys. I just, I'm so horrendous with pronunciation. Like, I don't listen to the audiobooks. I haven't listened to the audiobooks, I should say, for this series. So hearing it, I'm like, how am I supposed to say this? So I think Sazed and all of that stuff was so good. And I think, but you have to remember now, in the first 100 pages, he literally shows up, goes, Sazed, we need to go here. I'm like, okay, cool. March disappears. Never mentioned again for 400 plus pages. And then just, yeah, Brody, my bad. You got to die. Oh, what? But I have theories. Now we have Emser Knows theories, okay? I'm giving my 2 cents here. I have not started the Hero of Ages yet. So we're going to get right into it. So, my theories. Number 1, the god that was inside a Zane, I think is inside a Marsh and has corrupted him for a while. I think it corrupted Vin's mother. But I think the earring that she gave to Vin rejects the god from Vin entirely. So what I mean by that is the god, I think, can influence a lot of certain people. But I think it wanted Vin, but it couldn't have her because of the earring. Because when she goes inside the well, the first thing Sanderson points out she had to remove, even though she ends up removing all the metal, is the earring. And I think it's because the earring has protection against whatever this god is. So I think that it controlled the mom, but the mom at the very end made that call to save Vin from this creature or god, whatever. I love the twist that this writing of the Chosen One and everything from the past has been altered, has been changed. That in the end, another classic fantasy trope is sort of turned on its head. I think that Sanderson in each book has done that really well. Now I'm curious whose POV or whose epigraphs we will get for book 3. Because I do think book 3 is going to be Vin's book. That is my personal prediction. Just because book 1 felt like, I'm not even going to try, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. It was Kelsier. Yes. Kelsier's book? I don't know. Sorry, guys. I think that it was his book for the most part. Like, Vin obviously is still a major character / the main character. I'm not denying that. But, like, a lot of it is her looking at him, and in this book, it's her looking at Alen. So I think next book is going to be everyone looking at Vin and being like, what are you going to do? The pressure's on you. Oh, okay. So MVP is Alen. The most improved player usually is given to someone, in the NBA, who they had an all right year the year before, but they've made the leap. And for me, the MIP of this book is easily Breeze. I don't think it's even close. Breeze in book 1 was okay. Not bad, but just didn't really have a lot of screen time. But Breeze in book 2? Oh my God. Rest in peace of the homies that passed away in this book. But when I think it was Docs died right in front of Breeze, mid-sentence, and Breeze just snaps and hides and is broken. Oh. Fucking incredible. That is great character writing. That is how you take care of business. And I'm just so excited to see what he does in book 3. The Rookie of the Year. So who that debuted in this book is getting my my nod of approval as the best new character. I'm going to end up going with Orsier. In the vlogs, I did not really like Orsier. The twist that he was the traitor was fucking awesome. Because I actually did think it was going to be him at first. And then I immediately said, nah, it can't be. Incredible. Arianel is a close second, though, because that I do like how she plays a ditz for the first 95% of the book. But in the end, she does have this very altruistic sense of, like, I wanted to help these people, but my dad wouldn't let me. Then, Coach of the Year. Who the mentor figure of this book was that I enjoyed enough to give out a mention. I'm easily going Tindwell. I think her motivations and that whole thing too about their race and like the breeding and that shit is sad. It's sad, but it's powerful, man. again, that's my thing is like all of the character work is exponentially better in this book overall. Like the rest of the crew from book 1 get to meet more stuff going on. Seeing them connect not only to Vin, but to Elen and how that changes, both sides. Awesome. I think that this book 3 has legit potential. I do think that there's obviously some setup for the next book, but I would say that this book stands on its own merit. Like, it is not a, Mistborn 1.5 to book 3, aka really book 2. No, this is a legit book 2 that stands on its own. So, for the award rundown, again, the MVP, my glorious king, who is now have Alamancy, Elen. The rookie of the year, Orsier. The most improved player, easily my man Breeze. Coach of the year, Tindwell. And you all could be the MVP for me as well by just leaving a like, comment, subscribing. Again, I ended up giving this book about a 4.5 out of 5. I think that most of this stuff was a lot of fun, and the action in this book was awesome. The Colossus, whatever, fucking awesome. And seeing Vin, like, again, how Alamancy can control people is so cool. And now she made the choice of releasing the god. I don't know if it's the god. Oh, I almost forgot. One last Emster theory. The Mist guy, whoever he is, I think is a dude that has been talked about in the last 2 books in the epigraphs. Like the dude that was supposed to be the hero of ages, I think that's him. I think he is trying to counteract what this evil entity demon, the deepness, is. And he is trying his best to do that by, I do think it's a little funny. He's like, drink that. So get Ellen to drink that. But he's miming the whole thing like it's Pictionary. Awesome. I thought that shit was funny. But again, guys, I really enjoyed this book. I think this is a lot of fun. Again, thank you all for sticking through to the end. I'm sure this video is probably a little bit long with all the reading vlogs, but I'm sure you guys enjoyed every second. So as always, guys, this was Emster Knows Books. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.